Thank you for joining us. We begin this hour with court matters, where a federal high court sitting in Abuja, Nigeria's capital, has rejected the request of the immediate past governor of Kogi State, Yahaya Bello, to hold trial in the hearing of the 80.2 billion naira fraud charges brought against him. Bello asked the court to stay execution in his trial before Justice N80.2bn on the grounds that there is an appeal filed by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, before the Court of Appeal against the contempt application by the defendant against the EFCC chairman, Ola Olukayode. Justice Nwite, in his ruling on Friday, however, rejected the application made by Bello through his lawyer, Abdul Wahab Mohammed. He held that Bello was trying to make rubbish out of a criminal case by choosing to stay in his house and not respect the court orders. To discuss this, we're joined by legal practitioner Justice Ojienoh. Justice, thank you very much for giving us. The court has obviously rejected Yahaya Bello's request to hold the trial based on the EFCC appeal. In your legal opinion, how strong are the grounds for Bello's appeal, and how likely is it to succeed?
Okay, Felicity, my sister, you know it's going to be a very, very difficult one for me to actively give an opinion on the likelihood or otherwise of an ongoing court case. But generally, what the courts consider before deciding one way or otherwise will depend on the facts exactly before the court and the arguments and the industry of the lawyers in the case. So I feel that the court has considered the facts before it and the industry before deciding in the way that it has decided so far. And for the Court of Appeal, they already also have their work already cut out for them. So it is for them to consider the fact that have been laid before them before they decide whether the grounds that a particular litigant has presented or is relying on is strong enough to be able to get a decision in that litigant's favor.
Well, I quite acknowledge, I mean, you can't really talk about an ongoing trial. The judge did criticize Bello for disrespecting the court by not appearing. Can his absence from previous hearings impact the proceedings or be used as evidence against him?
Yes, the judge has actually shown his hand with respect to this one, and we know that as lawyers generally, we know that as lawyers generally, we know that when a matter is before a court, the court considers the facts before it. And when as in this particular case, the fact that a defendant or a prospective defendant has chosen to be absent from court too is really a grave pointer to the fact of whether the defendant will be able to enjoy some things. For example, if he eventually appears before the court, the likelihood of him getting bail in this matter may actually be quite hard because of the fact that it's obvious to everybody. So that is a major consideration that I feel that maybe the people advising him ought to have put into consideration before maybe saying that he shouldn't show up. But again, we are just speculating at this rate, and I feel that he should come out of hiding, even though he also is feeling that maybe he's going to be persecuted because of all the facts of maybe EFCC trying to take him in a Gestapo manner and things like that. So these are some of the factors to be considered, and which the court too might have considered. And we also say, especially in case of Ojukwu and the governor of Lagos State, that anybody who seeks to get a judgment of court in his favor has to at least, first of all, honor the courts. And in this case, the court has said, show up before we even decide or before we even hear any application, whether it's for stay of execution or stay of proceedings, as this case
we certainly hope he isn't throwing himself under the bus in this case. We'll see what happens in the coming days, and of course, we'll step back to you for more analysis. Thank you very much for speaking with us.
My pleasure.